What's up YouTube? I got the 2019 Specialized Tarmac Disc Expert and just wanted to go over a few observations and just a couple of small gripes. I mean, it just comes down to the small details. Overall, this is a magnificent rig. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm out of shape right now, but already I did set a couple of personal bests on Strava for some of the routes I normally ride, and just really loving the bike in general overall. The 26 mil wide rubber provides a lot more comfort on road. I'm able to run a little bit lower pressures, and it's overall smoothing out the ride and maybe allowing me to feel a little bit fresher on those long distance rides. So first major gripe with the Disc Expert Edition is the handlebars. These are shipped out or spec'd with specialized alloy bars, and come on, I spent almost $5,000 and I have a set of alloy bars that I got to change out. So alloy stem, alloy bars, those are gonna quickly get switched out. I have a pair of Easton E100 carbon bars weighing in at a feathery 183 grams, and then a Easton EC70 mostly carbon stem, 123 grams. So that should relieve some of the weight concerns on the front end. And then it ships out with a Toupee gel saddle. Not too bad. Still kind of getting used to it and seeing how it plays out with that saddle. Most people will switch to their saddle preference, so I don't really mind what they spec for the saddle as much as I do for the bars, because bars are a pain in the butt to change relative to swapping the saddle. So another small concern I have is this little rubber kind of, I don't know if this is just to hide the seat clamp assembly right here. So this little rubber dealie, it's got a little button to stick inside the Allen hole, and it's supposed to cinch like that, but it really doesn't lock into anything, and so it just ends up kind of flapping around like so. And so I'll probably take that off for all around riding. Overall, I like the D-shaped seat post. It's supposed to provide a little bit of compliance in the forward to rear direction. I probably won't get a huge benefit out of it because I have really small inseam, so I don't have a lot of seat post showing, not a lot of stick out. But nonetheless, it should provide a little bit of flex relative to a round seat post. So check that out. As far as these bottle cages are concerned, I got the TACX 0 bottle cages in matte black, and they only weigh 29 grams, which is pretty lightweight for a $15 to $20 bottle cage. So I didn't want to go for the $50 or the $70 bottle cages, and I think I got a good combination of good price and lightweight. So they are carbon and fiberglass composite. So I did like that the water bottle cage bosses came with button head screws. So those are a lot smaller and maybe a little less weight than the tall mechanical head screws. I forgot what they're called. Just the straight up squared off ones. Any other things to consider? Enjoying the carbon wheel set, the C38s. My first time with a kind of semi-aero wheel, and I did feel a little bit pushed around, so they're gonna take some getting used to in the wind. But overall, happy to have a carbon wheel set, and they feel decently light on the climbs. I did ride about 3,000 feet on Thursday and didn't really have a problem with flex in the discs. Sometimes you'll see, if you have a flexi wheel, you hear a little disc brake rub with the rotors, but didn't really have that problem. They're a nice stiff wheel. So one of the other things I had a concern with, or just a really small gripe, is they ship these handlebars with these expanding handlebar plugs, and who's really gonna snug these down and get like a crazy positive grip? I mean, let's just weigh these things out for fun and just see how much weight we're carrying. If I could get a good focus, 20.3 grams with these really unnecessary expander plugs. And then I've got my V cufflinks, 5.8. So we're losing 14.5 grams, really simply. So yeah, these are just gonna go in a box, and if I ever decide to get rid of the bike, they can go with the bike. But I'm putting my V cufflinks in because they semi-match. Got the black and red scheme going on. I do like the matte finish. Hopefully it holds up a little bit better to scratches. The chameleon gloss finish that they ship, which is the alternate color for the Expert, is just a little bit too shiny in my opinion. If I lay the bike against something, I'd be concerned about scratches all over, and you'd see everything. So but anyways, that's my thoughts for now. One last final thought is, I do like the low profile through axles, but then if you do have to change a tire, better make sure you don't leave home without your multi-tool or a 6mm Allen. So that is another small observation. I don't really have an issue with it. I'd rather have the low profileness instead of a big lever sticking out. They say it saves about 30 grams per wheel not having that lever on there. So anything else you guys can think of, or any concerns you guys have as well, please leave them below in the comments. Oh, actually, here's one last thing. I was looking at the S-Works D-shaped seat post, and unfortunately, if I do swap to a saddle, of course I'll upgrade and probably get some really lightweight carbon deal, and I'll have to get new brackets there to mate with the rails, the oval rails, 7x9 oval rails and whatnot. So that's another expense, $20 or so probably, that I'll have to commit to if when I swap saddles. I do like that the saddles are coming with this the SWAT style. So on the rear here on the saddle, they've got 2 attachment points, and Specialized is calling this their SWAT line of carrying capability. You can attach lights on here, and also they have like an inner tube kit with the CO2. Really stealthy and low profile instead of having some god-awful saddlebag hanging off the back. So I'll look at some of those options. Instead of carrying my tube in my jersey pocket, there's an option for that. Or if I know I'm going to be out close to twilight, stick on that rear tail light and don't have to attach anything to this this gorgeous S-Works carbon seat post. One thing to note about the 2019 Tarmac is that it's supposed to be as aero as the 2011 Specialized Venge, which is an aero style bike. and I can confirm my feeling is, this is my perception since I'm not a wind tunnel guy and all that good stuff, and I don't wear aero gear, but it does feel slick, and I felt very fast on the descents of the latest ride I did. I felt like without trying too hard, I was able to gain and close the gaps on my friends, and when not pedaling, you know, person to person, I felt very slick and smooth, and just felt really optimized as far as the drag on this bike. Okay, look forward to hearing you guys' comments. If you guys have a Specialized Tarmac, whatever edition, please leave some thoughts or concerns below. Thanks. Okay, and since we've got the 160 mil rotor in the front and the 140 in the rear, what do you guys think about matching in the front, going 140 in the front with 140 rear? I know it's just a handful of grams, and some of you guys will just say, you know, shut the hell up and ride. But aesthetic wise and weight weenie wise, you know how crazy we can get. Does it make sense? I'm a rider right around, hoping to get to 150 pounds here in the near future. And if I get to any kind of racing weight, I'd definitely be in the 140s. All right, guys, let me know what you think on that end. All right, I'm gonna take off this hideous rubber gasket, and I got my seat marked with just a little bit of pencil lead so as not to mark up the S-Works beauty. What do you guys think of, with the amount of seat post I need, would you guys consider chopping your S-Works seat post? For me, that looks to be a good at least 8 inches, and I can measure that. Would you guys go so far as to chop your seat posts to provide the minimum amount of stick in? So I've got, yeah, a good 7 1/3 inches in there. So I could lose at least a couple inches, I would say. Not sure what the minimum is, but definitely another added concern of mine was sticking in too deep. And actually I'm right there. If I put that 7 inches in any deeper, and I'd start to get into the recess for the back wheel, or the wheel well. So I probably will cut off at least 1 inch just to get past having any issues with damaging the frame with the wheel cut out. Okay, so it does say on the actual S-Works seat post, do not apply grease. Seat post maximum torque, 55 inch-pound-feet. Minimum insertion line is right there, and actually you can see that is a whole 3 inches. So from where I'm at, I can actually lose quite a bit. I could lose 4 inches on this saddle, you know, to personalize my bike. And you know, if this is a sub 200 gram seat post, 3 or 4 inches would be quite a few grams. I mean, I could lose 30, 40 grams in the chop process. So let me know what you think. Just gonna add a little dab of the carbon assembly paste, and that's probably not very much, but just a little bit all around. back, side to side. And let's reinsert. Just gentle taps. Went a little far. So I got that nasty little rubber thing there off. And fun part about a D-shaped seat post is you never have to worry about where your seat is aligned. Should be straight almost every time. Okay, now I'm fitting my Easton E100 carbon bars as a replacement on my Tarmac, and taking off the specialized alloy. These might be called, okay, shallow. These are 40 millimeter wide. Just weigh them in. And you're looking at 270 grams, and the other guys are 183 grams. So that's like 87 grams lighter, which is awesome. Thumbs up.